So this family is originally not from Singapore. They used to live in Japan and recently moved here. They live in the East Coast and I'm kind of following their day-to-day and also ask questions about their perspective of Singapore, the pros and cons. It's gonna be a fun video. Bye bye, Luca. Jane. So how long have you been living in Singapore for?
For almost 15 years, since 2006.
Oh, but I heard you used to live in Japan?
Yes, we did. We lived in Japan for 2.5 years, around exactly before the pandemic, so we came back.
Oh, you came back.
So we met here. I came here 2007. We met here. It just got extended and extended. Now Singapore is our base, our home.
So you're originally from Ipoh, right? Malaysia. Yes. So a lot of questions, but we're kind of hungry. So we're going to their favorite prata shop. All right, check it out. Do you speak Singlish at all?
No.
Why not? Why?
I can understand, but you know how is it when you're trying to speak a language that is not your own? You look very awkward, so I'm like, okay, I don't want to look that awkward.
How often do you come here?
Pretty much every day.
Every day. Yeah. Huge prata lover from Romania.
Best place in the world, yes.
It's so nice you can just walk over.
Yes, you can walk over, you sit down, it's very relaxing in the morning, you see the sunrise and then the squirrels, think about the world.
What's your favorite prata, by the way?
Cheese, of course.
Oh, so big. Oh my gosh, look at that. I think it's taller than your second son. That's like a weapon you're holding, huh, Nico? So big, huh? Thank you for the delicious prata. I have a question, like, why East Coast? Why live here?
I really like it close to the sea, so we really feel like we are on holiday every day.
Do you see other Westerners or other Ammo living here?
In the HDBs, not many angmos. Yeah. Maybe the condos, yeah. For the HDBs, maybe 1 or 2.
But do you get to see the sea from your room? Wow, and you'll let me in later. So that's quite exciting. All right, delicious prata. Now going for a morning walk. So glad that I'm wearing my waterproof shoes as always from Vessi. I have a few pairs of Vessi because the weather in Singapore is just so unpredictable. You know how it can rain anytime and it affects my mood because I hate getting my socks wet. But thanks to Vessi, I no longer have to worry about the weather. It's 100% waterproof, which makes them perfect for unpredictable weather, which is like every day in Southeast Asia. And even if it does not end up raining, it's okay because Vessi shoes are very comfortable and breathable. It's an ultimate shoe for city living, day and night, rain or shine. And I love how my pair of Soho sneakers is so fashionable despite being waterproof. Because waterproof shoes typically look kind of bulky, kind of look like you're going for a serious hike, right? Their waterproof gloves are also now available and I can't wait to try them this winter. It's also great for light trekking and even snowy weather because of how grippy it is. I did some trekking in actual river walk in America, walking on pebbles inside the river, but I did not slip even once. So if you want to say goodbye to wet socks and want a great pair of waterproof shoes, check out Vessi Styles at vessi.com/gibojisan and you get 15% off your first order. I wear my Vessi shoes every single day and I'm sure you'll like it too. Thank you Vessi for sponsoring this segment and let's go back to the video. Nicole, what was like the biggest culture shock in Singapore as a Malaysian?
Malaysian food.
Eh?
Yeah.
It's similar, right?
So, no, so they put like a Ipoh Hor Fun and then you go there and then it's like
It's
dry
not. It's not.
and with mushroom and
oh no.
yeah.
But already used to Singapore?
Right now, yes. Yeah.
Do you miss your home?
Yes, I miss the food. My parents are still back home in Ipoh.
Right. How about you, Emily?
Of course, in the beginning, the biggest one that I will remember for the rest of my life was carrot cake.
Wait, I was imagining something more serious and stuff. You said carrot cake.
Super serious. I love carrot cake. You know that cake which has a few layers with cream in between, some cream on top, and a little bit of carrot. And then I went to the shop. I saw there written up carrot cake. I was like, finally, I can find some carrot cake. I haven't had it a long time. And then I order, of course, I pay the $2 at the time, and I sit down at the table, then I wait, then I go, I take it, and then the lady gives me an omelette, and I'm like, sorry, I ordered carrot cake. And she's like, yeah, that's your carrot cake. So where is the carrot? Yeah, that's the carrot. And she showed me the radish. I'm like, okay. And where's the cake? Yeah, it's fried, so it's a cake. Oh, yes, okay, welcome to Singapore.
Can I ask why you choose to live in the heartland instead of like the CBD, which is quite the typical choice for expats, right?
When you live in another country and you live in the real neighborhood where the local people live, it's the same as in your country. You start to grow up, you start to change yourself, you start to become another person. This is what we appreciated as foreigners living in Singapore, that we've been accepted well. We are living here together with everyone else, and we do enjoy to grow up as Singaporean. It may sound funny, I don't speak Singlish, but yes, I feel a little bit that I'm having a second life here.
Can I ask you, how do you think you became your new self? Is it you become Singaporeanized in any way, or?
In many ways. I didn't used to eat any spicy food before. I lived in a country with 4 seasons and didn't appreciate aircon so much. Now I appreciate aircon very much.
How about Nicole? Like, how did he change? I think you as a wife, you saw him change.
Yeah, I think like now he eats durian. Like, he knows the different kind of curries.
Thank you. You have a genkan. Genkan ある。Did you build this yourself?
No.
Wow, so rare. It's quite unique for HEB, isn't it? Oh my gosh, the view. Wow, check out the view, guys. This is amazing. Okay, let's do a quick home tour. What is the best part of your apartment, Daniel?
There are no beds.
No beds.
Yeah, because I keep falling off them.
Then how do you sleep, huh? No bed? Oh, it's like a
Yeah.
tatami?
Yeah, it's tatami. We bought them from Japan.
Why no bed?
That's what you learn in Japan. You don't need beds. You only need tatamis and
And,
futons, and that's it. Life is different.
Yeah.
More space.
Yeah, true. It looks bigger, right? You know, you're even more Japanese than a lot of the Japanese people. We sleep on beds.
Okay, this is my working desk. I realize I cannot live without 4 monitors. It's a style, it's a lifestyle.
Wow.
So every morning I
With the
come
beach.
down, look at the beach, and I say, yeah, that's life. You have to work.
So in reality, do you play like anime here, Netflix here, YouTube here, and
Slightly different. MS Teams here, Excel here.
so you actually work?
Yeah. Good point.
So you work from home mainly?
Yes, we work
Ooh.
from home, which is very nice.
You also work in Japan too, right? Do you know like any? How about like working culture in Japan versus Singapore? Anything you want to share? Versus Romania also can.
It's very different.
Yeah.
In Japan, everything has to be very structured. Everything is process oriented. In Singapore, it is process, but it's more efficiency oriented. So you need to get stuff done.
Result.
The result. You need to get that fast.
Which one suits you?
When I can get a mix of both, I really like it, because sometimes it does make sense to follow the processes, and you don't know necessarily what is the good part in each step. But sometimes you're just going for the outcome, and you're thinking, okay, I got it done, but actually you didn't realize everything that the process was teaching you to realize. So I like both.
What part of Japan did you like and did not like?
We really like Tokyo, actually. We lived in the middle of Tokyo, close to the downtown. We didn't want to travel a lot, but we realized that you can have pretty much everything in Tokyo as well. You can have gardens, you can have some places to walk by the river, you can have...
Singapore also got, right?
In Japan, the winter is amazing. It's like that
You like winter?
winter in Tokyo.
I hated it.
That's because you're coming from a cold country, I can understand. I used to also think that winter is the bad part of the time because it's cloudy and you have to wait for the heat. And then I lived in Singapore for a long time, and then I realized, hey, actually there are so many good things in winter. You walk in the 15 degrees temperature, you cycle, and you can do it for hours and hours, and that's no stress that it's getting hot. Ideally, you should live in Singapore in the morning, in Japan in the afternoon, and then move in Romania in the evening. That's a perfect scenario.
What's your opinion on living in Singapore?
Yeah, it's really good. That's why we
50
came
years,
back
huh?
every single time we came back, and we really appreciated the things we have here. We appreciate it actually much more after we go live abroad.
And what do you think is the most underappreciated? Do you think in Singapore?
I think the food. Yeah.
Food is underappreciated.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's a new opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you ask Singaporeans, they are like, oh, we love Japanese food, we love Japanese food.
Ah.
But then when you're in Japan, right, and every day, especially if you work and you don't have time to cook, and you have to just buy something very fast for dinner to feed the kids, then you end up with bento with katsu or bento with curry, or it's very starchy, deep fried kind of food that you just that you get. Rather than here, you have
Hawker.
variety, hawker, and then if you want some veggie, then you can go zafan.
Food variety and diversity is very great here.
I think the warm weather. You try a lot of times to go back into the aircon, like now. But then when you're in winter for like 6 months in a row and it's cloudy,
I know.
and for years you have exactly the same thing half the year, then you start to think, hey, those walks on the beach under the palm trees didn't look that bad.
Another thing, I think the transportation, like the cabs.
The affordable cabs.
Yeah, affordable.
What do you miss most about Japan?
The snow, definitely the snow.
Oh, okay.
There's the snow in the mountains.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we don't have that in Singapore.
So, I mean, the nature is very good there. But then, were you scared of the earthquakes and the typhoon?
No, those are fine.
Really? Okay. A lot of Singaporeans are scared, you know?
Usually
I think
I just sleep through them.
In Japan, it's really well because it's process oriented, right? So they really prepare you for everything. You have like earthquake alarms.
So you cycled around Singapore
Yeah, we cycle around Singapore.
because you came back during COVID and you couldn't meet other people.
And then Emil had the baby at the back. So like this.
Luca was sleeping like
Luca,
Luca,
Yeah, that was Luca.
I think you guys are very adventurous, right? You traveled the world with a van.
During COVID, we went to Romania.
Yeah, we went to visit my mother-in-law.
But what made your family move to Japan? You had like no prior connection.
So I was working here in Singapore for the regional office. I always was working with Japan. So I looked after Japan, Korea and Thailand. There was like a transformation going on in Japan. So my manager there in Japan asked me to actually move to Japan. And then Emil just followed. So it was nice for his company to say just take a laptop and then you can work there.
This was Singapore to Japan.
Singapore to Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the initial culture shocks in Japan?
Time sheet ne. So
What's that?
you always have to clock in and clock out.
You do it on the computer, right?
Yes, yes. And I think more culture shock for Emil because it was far away. So always he's late or he leaves early.
I think this might shock a lot of my viewers, but this is still a common practice. This is not part-time. We're a full-time employee, but that's why I was shocked in Singapore. I had my first job. Well, not everybody lah, but it's okay to be late sometimes. Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I mean, everybody sometimes does that, right? Japan is a bit micromanagement. I mean, not all company, but
Yeah, so if the train is late, you have to go to the train station, make sure you get the time sheet that the train is late so that you can get to
the
your
proof
boss.
of your train was really late.
Yeah.
Or else your boss will screw you. And you must call your boss when you know you'll be late. Even maybe 2-3 minutes you're late, you gotta call. Depends on your company, but my company it was like that.
I think the other one was during salary negotiation. HR was telling me, we cannot give you more, but we'll give you same price as in Singapore.
Okay.
But then the same price is inclusive of overtime. So they were expecting me to work overtime. Yeah.
I think it's quite unique that you even negotiate salary. I will say a lot of people will just were kind of scared to do that.
Correct.
Why?
Is it normal in Singapore, Malaysia?
I
You
think
negotiate.
For me also, I'm not so confident in negotiating. But at least I was thinking, oh, if I move there, then it should be the same. But they were saying that, oh, since we give you overtime, so we minus the overtime
that's
from
overtime.
your we minus the overtime from your actual salary. So every August we come back to Singapore because of the weather, because it's so hot in Tokyo.
40
So like
degrees.
in Singapore, people are like so.
You to escape the
Take
summer
off.
heat, you come to
Yes.
Singapore.
Yes. People take for granted the
Yeah,
weather
yeah.
in Singapore.
Can relate to that. Yeah, summer in Tokyo can be insane, right?
40 degrees.
It's cool here, believe
I
it or
mean-
not.
I think in Singapore we just also take for granted the help that we can get. So in Singapore you can easily get help to for like cleaning the house, or you can get a live-in maid.
Maid.
Yeah. When you're in Japan or in Germany, you have to do everything yourself.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to automate things like cleaning the floor.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can get a maid in Japan as well, but it's more expensive, and a lot of people will judge you. They'll think, well, you're lazy. That's your job, right? Why are you getting a maid to do that? And I think that's kind of unhealthy. That's why Japanese moms are so tired.
Japanese moms really take their job seriously, right? So it's a job for them. So they will make sure that they have a schedule to follow. So
No
they will
resting.
make up, dress up nicely, prepare bento for the kids, for the husband.
Yeah.
And then you see they're on the mamachari,
Yeah.
the one kid in the front, one kid at the back, one kid in the backpack as well. So 3 kids.
Backpack.
And then dropping the kids off. Then it's groceries.
Do you follow the Japan way?
I couldn't do that because I was working full time, right? So we had the hoikuen, so we were lucky to have hoikuen to help us out with like childcare.
Okay, now they're meeting their
Auntie 係
neighbor.
屋企冇？要訪問一陣。
拍照，yeah. 很漂亮，因为他按摩
我懂，
啊，哦
他是我的邻居吗？好邻居吗？
啊
两个壁吗？
，do you understand her?
neighbor 啊，
Do you understand?
他们理解了理解。这个本来
啊，Ruben，啊，Ruben，
哦，菲律宾，
啊，no，啊，Ruben，
日本人，日本人。
日本啊，日本啊，
啊，日本，
叫你影相中那个位啊，菲律宾富啊，
How many years you know them?
啊，後面我一時 come here，你哋咩年半嚟嘅？
12 years. 哇，
呢個仲 baby 哦，呢
What's your impression of Emmy?
Nothing. Very common.
有咩印象？
Singaporean.
個
Singaporean or
Good
say
friend ah, good neighbor.
PR or what? What's this?
Good name. Oh.
I thought what? Nothing special. Huh?
special.
I mean, still among our community in Singapore.
What the hell?
So
So-
everyone is the same.
Like I guess like no judgment and no.
No, nothing. All the same. All the same.
All the same.
All the same as Singaporean. All Singaporean.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, good luck. Very friendly, huh? How would you describe your relationship with your neighbor?
Excellent. We help each other. They have kids and grandkids, and their grandkids were
About
many
same
times.
age as
yeah.
our kids,
Yeah.
so yeah.
So for lunch, where are we going? Another your go-to place, right?
We're going to Hawker Center.
Ooh. Emilio, you are obviously used to SG food, right?
Of course.
What's your favorite hawker food?
Wonton noodles, chasu rice, mixed rice.
This neighborhood is called what? Marine Terrace?
Marine Terrace, yeah.
It's really nice. You have a hawker right across, and it's right nearby the beach. Awesome place. What did you get, Daniel?
I got roasted pork rice.
Wow, looks amazing, man. And I got myself the famous mee pok, right? Oh, looks good. How often do you come here?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
So every day biryani, start from biryani, go to the beach and come here.
Yes, here for lunch, mala. It's really good here.
Oh, mala. You
Yes.
also take mala.
Yeah, you can choose your own ingredients, and every day you can say, this time I want it slightly different. I ate something different.
Do you feel homesick? Do you too? Sometimes?
No, this
Oh, no.
is home. This is second home or third home or fourth home.
Were there any very difficult moments living in Singapore?
I think it was a bit more difficult during the COVID because you have to be restrained to Singapore, although we took it as an opportunity to go and cycle around. So in the end we tried to make the best of it.
Yeah, I have my family here, I have my friends here, we have working colleagues for like 10, 15 years, our neighbors, very, very nice aunties. So yes, Singapore is home.
Well, how interesting was it to get a glimpse of Nicole's and Emily's life in the heartland of Singapore? I personally like seeing the interaction with their neighbor. Like they have like no prejudice, like no judgment. Like we are all human. Just because he's a Ammo, like doesn't make any difference. They treat everyone equally, and I think that's a very common thing in Singapore because it's just such a diverse country of many different people, and following their day I feel more appreciative towards this country. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you Vessi for sponsoring this video. If you want amazing waterproof shoes, do check it out from the link in the description box below. Thank you. Have a good day guys. Goodbye.